Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the EV Stop or Skip series. We're back here in the car on our way to our third charging station that we're going to be reviewing. This one's going to be a little bit different. The first two that we've done have been locally to kind of see how your day-to-day life is going to change with an EV and charging and all that. This one's going to be more of kind of a road trip oriented kind of charging station. I'm not going to reveal the location yet, but yeah, this one's going to be more road trip oriented. It's going to involve a DC fast charger. I will divulge that information. Part of the intricacies with an EV is that using level 1 and level 2 charging, it's safe to charge the vehicle right up to 100%. But one of the caveats is that with level 3 DC fast charging, in order to ensure the longest life of the battery and the battery stays in great condition, you should really only charge it to 80% with DC fast charging. So that's something you need to consider if you're going to be on a road trip. You're going to charge up to 100% the night before you leave. But until you get to your destination, you're likely not going to be charging to 100% again. You're going to be stopping whenever you need to, using DC fast charging, hoping that doesn't take too long. We're going to see how long that kind of thing takes at a common DC fast charging stop in at least around where I live. So we're going to see how long the DC fast charging takes to get you up to that 80% so that you can continue on your road trip. So once we get there, I will check back in. All right, so we are here at the Cambridge OnRoute. We are on the eastbound side, like traveling eastbound. So at this OnRoute, I'm not sure if they're all the same brand at all the OnRoutes, but this one specifically has Ivy, the Ivy charging network. I've never used an Ivy station, so it'll be my first time, so that'll involve setting up the app. It does say over here that it is DC fast charging level 3. There's a little sign up here as well that shows that it's fast charging up to 200 kilowatts, which is already going to be hopefully better than the one at the Brantford Canadian Tire, because that one was only like 50 or 75 kilowatts. So the fact that this is up to 200, the car can do up to 150, so it should be able to charge to its full capability. So I'm going to get the app going. I'll show you bits and pieces of that as well, and then yeah, we'll get the car charging. All right, so it was really quick setup, really quick sign up, took literally like 30 seconds. And then right away it pops up and shows exactly where I am. Shows here, you can see I am on, like I said, the eastbound travel side, shows the chargers over on the other side. It does show here that it has 2 out of 3 available. Or sorry, on the other side it says 2 out of 3 available. On my side it says 3 out of 3 available. So yeah, we're gonna choose. So I guess they consider this Cambridge South because it is on the south side. So we're going to tap on that. So it's showing here it is 69 cents a kilowatt hour, and the power is 100 kilowatts. So it's not the full 200 that it says up there, but hey, you know what? That's not too bad still. So I can see we're at number 24. So it says port 1 left is CHA DC 50 kilowatts. So that's going to be, I believe, for Nissans and Mitsubishis. And then port 2 CCS DC 100 kilowatts. So that's the one that I'm going to use. All right, so here, I'll grab the camera. So it shows in on here, authenticate with tag or mobile app. So that's what I'm going to do here on the app. Ensure your vehicle's plugged in. You have 80 whatever seconds to plug it in. If you have not plugged it in yet, I have. There we go, charging. It does say charging, so we will check on this periodically and give you updates. So one thing I should mention is that I'm not starting this charge from like 10% or really low. On most road trips, I know you'd probably go until you're completely diminished and then you'd pull over to charge. But sometimes in the middle of a road trip, you got to make pit stops in between fuel stops. And a lot of times if you're doing that, you're going to just fill up out of convenience anyway. So same concept here. We're going to charge the car kind of in between. It does show right now. So right now we're showing 151 kilometers with climate on, 160, so it just went up with climate off. This thing is charging absolutely blisteringly fast, I'm realizing looking at it. So the car can charge, it shows a max 147. The conditions for the battery right now, it can pull in 147 kilowatt hours. And this thing's charging at 118. And it shows up here that it can do 200. We saw on the app that it was only gonna charge at 100. So it is charging at 18 kilowatts faster than it advertised on the app. And yeah, it is jamming the power into this thing. I pulled in at 37%. It was like 130 something kilometers with the climate on. And yeah, we're already at 44%. It says time to 80%, 20 minutes. We've got a whole station here to review, so we better get going before this thing's full. So on this one, we decided to bring along one of our puppies. This is Jolene. Jolene making her EV Stop or Skip debut. Smile for the camera, Jolene. So yeah, because this one was more of a road trip oriented stop here at the OnRoute. Typically, you might have your pets with you. You might have your animals with you. So yeah, you're going to want to see how great these spots are for letting them stretch their legs as well, letting them use the washroom as well. So we are headed over here. Sorry for my finger there. Headed over there to that little grassy area. We're going to check it out. And then some of the OnRoutes back here behind the truck area have like a little picnic area and a rest area. So we're going to investigate that and see what we can find. So yeah, here's the sign. It does have a recreational area down in here. So we're just gonna let Joey pee right here real quick. There is a spot, and then we will go check out the recreational area. Thank God, beer sold here at the off-highway truck stop. Exactly where I get my beer, right off the highway. Well, would you look at that? Dedicated pet area, bags, garbage can. 10 out of 10 in the pet department for the OnRoute. Okay, well, I don't know if I expected a result this fast. It's already at 84%. EV 101, don't DC fast charge past 80%. I mean, the car will automatically throttle it and slow it down, so it's not doing any damage right now. But just rule of thumb, don't bother. It's going to take as long to charge to 100 as it did to charge this long to 80. So I mean, Obviously not that much longer. It's only been about 24, 25 minutes. But still, for 25 minutes to go from, I had 37%, I'm now at 85. We'll do a quick check-in on the app to see how much distance we have and how much we paid for it. All right, so we're back here on the app. Duration 24 minutes, energy 38 kilowatts. It is jammed the power in there. It's cost me $26. We are at 86% according to the station here. So again, like I said, EV 101, you never really want a DC fast charge past 80%. The car will throttle the charging for you to avoid damage to the car, but just good practice to not. So we're gonna hit stop just to keep it realistic on a road trip. I just wanna get back going. It's only been 24 minutes, not too bad. We had time to go inside, use the washroom, take Joey for a quick walk around the vicinities here. And yeah, that was about it. We haven't been here for any longer than we would be if we had a gas car. We took a road trip at the end of last year. I can attest to that. This stop was no longer than any of the stops we took with the gas car. So session complete, 25 minutes, 40 kilowatts, $27. So in my little recap, I'll do the math and I'll break that down with you. But already, that only cost me 27 bucks, took me 25 minutes. We'll see the range comparison. It's gonna cost you a hell of a lot more than 25 bucks to gas up your car. And that's a wrap for the IV station at the Cambridge OnRoute. So we gained just shy of 200 kilometers. We started with 37% and we're at 86%. So just shy of 50% gained. That only took 25 minutes. That entire 25 minutes was spent doing things we needed to do anyway. It only cost us 25 bucks. So to go from 137 kilometers when we stopped, that's the point where you're going to need to stop at the next rest stop and fuel up. Now we've got 315 kilometers. We put that in the 25 minutes it took us to have a little rest stop. I think in my mind, that's a really great result. All right, so now that the charge is complete, we're gonna head over and check out that recreational area. We don't really need to use it anymore because Joey is all good, but I just wanted to include it on this video, so we're gonna go check it out. Okay, so in this section, I am driving over to the recreational area. And the reason I'm not talking on camera is because I'm realizing that it's closed when we get up there. So I do zoom in on the sign in just a second. It gives you kind of the guidelines and lets you know that it's closed and the washrooms are closed and all that kind of stuff at night. So just keep that in mind. If you are using this en route and planning to use the rest area, it is closed at night. Well, it is also seasonal, as you can see on the sign. It gives you its opening and closing dates. All right, debrief time for episode 3 of EV Stop or Skip. So like I said in the video, the location of this one is the Cambridge South OnRoute. So there is one on the north side of the highway as well. So folks in Ontario are obviously going to know what an OnRoute is. If you're not from Ontario, you might not. So through Ontario from Windsor all the way to the Quebec border is the Highway 401. It is the busiest highway in North America, some say the world. Over 500,000 vehicles travel through just the GTA on it every day. And then another like 200,000-300,000 throughout all the other towns that it goes through. So yeah, it is a major artery for trade in Canada, for traveling in Canada, for your everyday use in Canada. They do also have a couple locations on Highway 400 that shoots off of the 401, heads up towards Cottage Country. So they do have a couple scattered in and around there. They have a total of 12 locations, like 12 towns where they are. There are usually 2 locations in each town. There are a couple of exceptions, but yeah, there's usually one on the south side of the highway, one on the north side of the highway. For the 400, it's the east and the west side. So the company that runs the OnRoutes a couple years ago, about 5-10 years ago, started rolling out EV stations into all of their locations. On their website, it says by 2022 they wanted to have like 50% of them done or something like that. As of what I can tell from now, there are only 2 stations that don't have one. So I'll show on the screen a little map of where all of these are along the 401. See the 2 there that do not have an EV charging station. I'm not sure if it's because they're closer to an existing EV charging station or they just haven't gotten around to it. Not sure. But yeah, those 2 do not have one as of now. But for the most part, you're going to be totally fine. Every single other one has these IV stations at them. All right, so I will start with the amenities. As you can see, this one has a ton, a little bit different than the other charging stations where they are more of an actual destination charging station. Like you're going somewhere and this charging station happens to be there. This is a charging station where you want to spend as little time as possible, get as much as you can done at this one stop, get back on the road and get back traveling. For amenities on this one, it does a really good job of that. You obviously have the EV station. You've got a gas station as well. So if you're traveling with multiple people, you're the only EV or there are a couple gas cars in the convoy, everybody can use this as an energy stop. You do have the building, obviously, the actual OnRoute in there. In this one, you've got a Tim's, a New York Fries, a Starbucks, and an A&W. Typically, there'll be a Tim Hortons, a New York Fries, and an A&W, and a Starbucks. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. This one also has a CIBC ATM, which is great, and then the On Market. So it's kind of like an upscale convenience store, basically a convenience store, but they've got like fresh sandwiches, salads, a little bit more of a selection, a little bit more like of a travel store, I guess, than an actual convenience store. And then you can obviously see in the video as well, it does have the dedicated pet area, which we missed before we let Joey go. But yeah, good to know that they have it. And they also have the recreational area at this location. So like I said, if you're on a long road trip, sometimes you need a little bit more time out of the car. Sometimes you want to stretch your legs. If you've got your kids with you, because this isn't a destination charger, this is one where you're on the road. It's obviously not going to have much in terms of kid-centric activities, but you do at least have the rest area back there. You can let the kids out to run around and get some beans out before you hop back on the road and continue on your road trip. So this one, really great amenities, and for what it needs to do, it does it very well. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Still not a 10 out of 10. If it had like, I remember when I was a kid, there were certain rest stops that had like an actual play area for kids. So, I mean, that's that 1 extra percent. If it had something specifically for kids, you could make sure that they're going to enjoy their time there. That might be the one thing that I would say they could improve on. So the next category is ease of use. There's really not much to say about this station in terms of ease of use other than it was easy. The IV app was nice and easy to set up. The gun was easy to get attached to the adapter, went into the car, charged nice and easily, gave me a nice report at the end. So yeah, this one definitely gets a 10 out of 10 for ease of use. And then the results. So on result for this one, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very good result. So I got my little notes here just so I don't mess up. So when I started, I didn't actually specifically show what I started at, but there is a clip where you go back, you can see when I just pulled in, you can see the car is at 37%, 135 kilometers. I had climate on at that point as well. So the readings after with the climate on are accurate. So started with 37%, went up to 86%. So we gained 49%, just shy of 50. And we started with 135 kilometers, finished with 315 kilometers, which was a gain of 180 kilometers. So the website for the OnRoutes claims that you can get about 100 kilometers in 20 minutes or less. That's what's advertised. 20 minutes got me 180 kilometers. So 80 kilometers more than advertised. Better than what they said it would. Still not going to be a 10. The BZ can charge up to 150 kilowatts, which Toyota advertises gets you about 10% to 80% in half an hour, a 70% gain. I know that I only stayed charging for 24 minutes here, but that, especially over 80%, that extra 6 minutes wouldn't have gotten me to the 80%. It wouldn't have gotten me that extra 30%. So yeah, it's still going to get an 8 out of 10. Very good result, but I'm hoping that I still see a 10 out of 10 and I still see somewhere charge this thing up to its full capability of 150 kilowatts. So at a 30, this one scores a 27, is a 90%. Here's the updated leaderboard. Takes over top spot in our rankings. I kind of expected that. It's a road trip and travel oriented charging station. Speed and keeping you there for as little time as possible is kind of the name of the game here. So I did expect to get the best result. The amenities and the ease of use of the app are just a bonus in that case. But yeah, the result here was great. It's going to get you back on the road with 180 extra kilometers in the battery, ready to go. Yeah, you don't have to stop for another over 300 kilometers. You're good to go at this point. So I hope you enjoyed part 3 of EV Stop or Skip here at the Cambridge Southside OnRoute. Stay tuned for episode 4 and see where I will end up next. Thank you for watching.